Fake people. The Millers were a couple living in Trenchtown. Mrs. Miller worked as a helper uptown from Monday to Saturday. On her only day off, Sunday, she had to do all the housework. She did not have a good life. Her husband did not work, so she was the one taking care of both of them. She had two evil people in her life: her friend Mavis and her husband. Mavis had two children, a boy and a girl. Mavis was also working uptown with a white man who fell in love with her. She told the boss she didn't have any children. She did not have any stretch marks on her belly, so there was no trace of her having children. She would leave her two children with an old lady and rarely visited them, leaving the old lady to struggle to take care of them. Mavis was very evil. Mr. Miller, Mrs. Miller's husband, would wait until his wife left for work. Then he would dress up in her clothes, wrap his head, and pretend he was an OBMN. People would come and go all day, and he would charge them money while telling them a bag of lies. He kept all the money for himself and gave none to his wife. People were too scared to tell Mrs. Miller because they were afraid she would tell him their names, as she loved him a lot. One day, Mrs. Miller needed a new dress but could not afford to buy material. She had a set of bright window curtains, so she decided to take them down and make a dress. Everyone made fun of her, and it caused a big fuss. That's how it came out that Mr. Miller was making money as an OBM man. Word spread, and Mr. Miller was exposed as a fraud. He left his wife and the community. After Mr. Miller left, Mrs. Miller was a changed woman. She could now take care of herself and was looking really good. Mavis's boss followed her and discovered her lie about not having children. He also saw how poorly the kids were living and left her.